Is that the art gallery from X and Y? Oh, and that's Hotel Riches Me down there. The Lumiose Museum, right. I got the Lumiose Museum in this game. Can I get a better look at the paintings now? Oh, it looks like it. That's a map of Hisui. That's cool. Or maybe it's Sinnoh. But it reminds me... No, it reminds me of the map of Hisui. That they made for Legends Arceus. Here's the side mission. Well, this is where I'm going to get distracted until nightfall, I guess. Really big Spupa fans. Their Spupa got loose in the museum. 12 Spupa loose in the museum. That's just chaos. They each had a full party of Spupa. They spew out black powder while threatened. Yeah, don't want that on the art. There's one right there. What a funny problem. Happy to help. I can look at the art while I'm here. There was this Spupa right here. Where'd it go? Is this no Schwanstein? You have no Schwanstein in Pokemon? I don't know if that is. Got a port scene. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to look at art. Colmarine City. Part of Kalos that I don't think we'll be seeing in this game. Oh, this art is definitely an X and Y. But we get a way better angle on it now. Forced the artist to add the mythical Pokemon Mew to spread the word of how great he was. I remember this painting. This is interesting. A samurai with a... or a knight, if you prefer, with a Golurk. I think this one's also an X and Y. This looks like Laver City. Probably all these are in... I see it looks like a hideaway for fairies, yeah. Probably all these are, or most of these, not the Hisui one, but most of these are in X and Y, and I just don't remember all of them. Yeah, the museum is way better now that you can angle stuff like this. Is this Parfum Palace? Yeah, too bad we don't get to see that in this game. That would look amazing. Although it's kind of intentionally designed to be over the top, so maybe... The fountains are different. In X and Y, those were Dratini fountains, but here they're Yuxi. Or at least that's how they're portrayed in this art. Interesting. I hear a Spupa. Oh, it's right there. Hello. $11 more. It's getting dark in real life. I'm gonna have to get up and turn a light on in this room soon. In my room. I'm just in my living room. I hear a Spupa. One nearby. This sounds like there's one right around here. Oh, it's probably just the one that I found already. I hear one again. Are any of them out here? Look like it. Lucario, Mega Lucario statue. Farmers and Pokemon. What Pokemon is that? Looks like a Ninetales? Or a Mew? I don't know. Ooh, Glimmering Cave? Their memorable Kalos location from X and Y. A little bit of a different perspective on it from what we got in those games. Got a Sarina and a Cacturn. So this was definitely not here in X and Y because Sarina is the Gen 7 Pokemon. Gothita. Oh, a whole bunch of Pokemon here. Pokemon sharing a moment centered around Gothitelle. How would they relate to each other in the absence of humans? Interesting. Ooh, we got Diancie. I hope I can catch Diancie in this game. Great mythical Pokemon design. One of my favorite Mega Evolutions. I hope I can catch it. It'll definitely get a spot on this team, whoever I have to drop to make it happen. Portrait of a king from 3,000 years ago. Imply it, so that would mean AZ probably. Ah, but now the theory is that it depicts a descendant of the king's younger brother. That's one thing I didn't mention about Lysander. Lysander is the descendant of the king's brother. From this we can surmise that this royal line maintained a degree of power through the ages. It's a big part of Lysander's deal in X and Y that he's descended from AZ's brother, and he clearly sort of has a royalty complex that partly informs his decision to kill everyone else, almost, for what he considers the good of the region. He feels like he's burdened by noble purpose, you know? Tower of Mastery. And a Mega Lucario statue, makes sense. I hear a Spupa. This also looks like the Tower of Mastery. Got a whole Mega Evolution. That's Shiller City with the Tower of Mastery. That's a Mega Lucario statue. There's a Spupa right there. Ah, replica of the statue in the Tower of Mastery. The fact Lucario was the first Pokemon to ever Mega Evolve in the Kalos region. That is said in X and Y. That is part of the lore. Aw, tucked away in a cozy hidden corner. Sorry, buddy. You do have to move now. Hope you had a good nap or whatever you were doing. Tower of Mastery. Tower of Mastery. Tower of Mastery with what looks an awful lot like Callum from X and Y. Tower of Mastery has inspired a lot of artists, but yeah, that sure looks like an X and Y player character right there. How about that? Fancy painting. Lysander's ancestor, apparently. Saw those already, thought I'd give them another look. Hisui, the Grand Exhibition. We're gonna see some Hisui stuff upstairs. That would be fun. There's a Spupa. You're not supposed to be there. That looks like Kamado's armor from... Oh, this is definitely the Hisui exhibit. That is Kamado's armor from Legends Arceus. Wow, he uses that. He wears that when he battles you in that game. And it does also resemble the armor worn by Wickstrom in the Kalos Elite Four. When contacted for comment, Wickstrom said it was possible this armor was one of several suits his ancestors gave to Galarians. Galarians? Do you see what I see in the background right now? Kalos, Galar, Hisui. Is Kamado supposed to be from Galar? I know Laventon is implied to maybe be from Galar. I thought the leading fan theory on Kamado was that he was from Johto. Even then, I don't know if anything was confirmed. But never mind all that. Well, here's their flag. Design incorporates various elements from different regions, including Galarian letters. Okay, connection to Galar. There's something there. But these are the images in one of the clan... I think both of the clan houses, clan bases that got so much attention from the fan base because they are not explained much in Legends Arceus. Here they are up close, the hero who very clearly resembles Alder. Yeah, displayed by the Pearl Clan and Diamond Clan. We got a guy who looks like Archie in Pearl Clan gear, a guy who looks like Maxie in Diamond Clan gear. Individuals depicted with them are said to have represented the sun, sea, and land, but nothing concrete is known about their identities. Okay, it's going to be the same on all of these. The implied Archie, Maxie, and Alder ancestors in Legends Arceus. And I'm not sure we were actually told that the Alder guy was the ancient hero. I think that was a fan theory based on his place in the imagery there. Wow, did not expect to see these up close in this game. That's got my brain vaguely thinking about stuff. There's this pupa. Doing a fine job modeling the haircuts on display. It sure is. Hairstyles of the time. Some Japanese art here. This looks like Kamado's usual outfit. Recreation. Yeah, I guess the original kimono would not have lasted this long. Costly. Wow, this is so cool. We can't go up to the top floor? Or maybe not this way, at least. That's where the big portrait of the king or something is in X and Y. There's this pupa. Looking at the mural from Legends Arceus with legendary and mythical Pokemon and stuff. Ancient Sinnohan glyphs. Not gifs. Not GIFs either. Ancient Sinnohan glyphs. Both common Pokemon and those that were objects of worship. Each glyph held multiple meanings. They could be combined to create whole sentences. Arceus. What is that next one? Dialga? I think it must be. Even though it really doesn't look that much like it. I can see the spine and stuff and the diamond on the chest. And the next was Palkia. Uxie, Azelf, Mesprit, Cresselia, Darkrai, Heatran. Something that looks like Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, but is not any one of the three. Fascinating. Weirdeer, Cleavor, Ursaluna, Lilligant, Basculegion, Arcanine, Sneasler, Electrode, Avalugg. What's the bird? Oh, Braviary. And then Regigigas, Giratina, and Manaphy. What then? Was the one that looks like Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, but is not any of the three? Even looks like it could be a hybrid. Or a more elaborately designed fourth member or something. Am I forgetting something? Is there some much more boring answer to what that is? Also, was that glyph in Legends Arceus? Can I go online and look up theories on what that is, or just somebody having figured it out? I mean, the rest are pretty clear. Sinnoh, Legendaries, and Mythicals, and the Noble Pokemon. What is... I feel like I might be missing something obvious, but I'm intrigued and puzzled by that one right now. Tell me if I'm missing something obvious. Almighty Sinnoh, according to the Diamond Clan. Great statue. Look at the size of that thing. Imagine Dialga looking like that in battle. Obviously not made of stone, but otherwise towering over you. And here's Almighty Sinnoh according to the Pearl Clan. By the way, I think it definitely would be night by now. Maybe time doesn't pass while I'm in here. The person who wore this outfit donated it to the collection personally. Apparently he gazed a while at those sketches by Professor Leventon with a nostalgic air too. Said to have been worn by the ancient Sinnoh people during their rituals. This group worshipped the Pokemon Arceus as an almighty deity. It is thought that they showed respect by mimicking Arceus' appearance, even reflected in the way they styled their hair. Okay, there is a lot there. Number 1. If you played Legends Arceus, you paid attention to the lore, you might recall, very, very few of the characters who appear in that game are indigenous to the Hisui region. The Diamond Clan arrived at some point. They were not the first people there. Same goes for the Pearl Clan. The Galaxy team are relatively new. The Ginkgo Guild, for the most part, I think, rode up in boats at some point. And there are an ancient people, the Celestica people, the Sinnoh people, something like that. who have mostly disappeared from the land, we're told. The only characters who are strongly implied to be indigenous to Hisui are Kogita, and to a lesser extent, Volo. That is the outfit that Volo wears when you battle him. We're not really given any of these details on the outfit in Legends Arceus. This display just added a bunch of context. And spoilers for Legends Arceus, although it's a bit late for that spoiler warning, sorry. When you defeat Volo, his goal is like to meet Arceus and subjugate it and get it to create a better world. Kind of like a Proto-Cyrus. When you meet Volo, or when you defeat Volo, he says that he's still going to accomplish his goal and meet Arceus no matter how long it takes him, no matter how many weeks or months or years or centuries. He says if it takes him centuries, he'll still do it. And that could just be the empty words of a sad, defeated guy, but fans took that to mean, maybe he's immortal. Maybe he knows some secret that'll keep him around for a long time. And Kogita, there are implications like that around her, too, because there are ancient records that you can find around the land that are implied at a couple of points to have maybe been written by Kogita, even though she's a living, breathing woman that you can meet in the story. So the implication that Volo showed up and donated this personally, that is absolutely what was implied there. There is some lore buried under that. Very interesting. What is that thing? Anyway. What is this? Wrong interaction. The ancient quarry, right, where you get the origin ore, or nearby. The ancient quarry is in the Coronet Highlands in Legends Arceus. This is the Temple of Sinnoh. The spear pillar before it got ruined, or what the spear pillar would look like if restored, sure. It said that these ruins once housed 10 statues depicting Pokemon as lords or ladies. However, the temple was severely damaged due to a battle between legendary Pokemon, with the statues also being destroyed. That happens during the events of Legends Arceus. Spear pillar was coined by the Survey Corps at the time. Interesting. I remember, so the one use of spear pillar in Legends Arceus is actually not the Survey Corps. When you go there with Volo right before you battle him, he says, like, look at this place. It looks like a pillar of spears pointing up at the heavens. Okay, new headcanon. He says that, and the player character thinks, that's an interesting name for it, and goes back and tells people, let's call it the spear pillar. B. The human figure depicted by the entrance there, by the way. Saw these already. I hear Spupa. I forgot I was looking for Spupa. Whoa, it's Ray and Akari's outfits. And there's a Spupa in there. Partner of a Survey Corps member. Aw, you could have been, buddy, if you were there. I gotta check out Hotel Riches Me too. There's so much lore. What's this? Just the dwellings of Jubilife Village. That's straight out of Jubilife Village. That's straight out of Jubilife Village, and there's a Spupa in there. Running the old general store. Wow, Choi is back. Prelude Beach. Pokemon helped with various tasks. Yep. There's a Spupa. Got an old satchel. We got some old items from Legends Arceus. Crafting bench. I never did much crafting in that game. Is this a model of potato mochi over here? Yes, it is. Let's go. The croissant curry of Hisui. Looks pretty good. I didn't interact with these yet. Survey Corps uniforms. Remained undamaged even when its wearer rolled over rough terrain to dodge attacks from wild Pokemon. Could withstand both heat and cold, is said to have even withstood Pokemon moves. Remarkably, the red cap is believed to have always stayed in place no matter how the wearer moved. Yep, that checks out. We got Hisuian Pokeballs. Let's go. We got all the balls from the game, except the Origin Ball, which is a special one-off thing, not a regular Galaxy Core thing. Sketches by Professor Leventon. Wow, his Pokedex was believed to be lost in a partial facsimile. It was found in a shed of a private house in the Sinnoh region. This is so cool. This is like a real-life museum display, but it's the Pokemon world, and it's calling back to past adventures. His work has been reevaluated in recent years. Hold on, I have to start this one again. They said that the Pokedex was not in fact completed by Leventon himself, but by a mysterious 15-year-old youth who appeared out of nowhere one day. Wow, canon age for the player character in Legends Arceus. I don't know if we had that before. Wow, Leventon was kind of forgotten by history, but now people are putting some respect on his name, huh? Here's Pupa. Hisui map, number 1. The area around Jubilife Village. Many children can be seen, perhaps indicating that the fear of Pokemon had lessened and life had stabilized by this time. Cool. Coronet Highlands, Crimson Mirelands, and Lake Valor. Though very different from the modern Sinnoh region, the geography itself is accurately shown. It is believed that the surveyor viewed the area from above while riding upon a flying Pokemon. Perhaps a Braviary. Okay, now we're getting out of the Hisui display. These are modern Pokeballs. A whole bunch of different ones on display. That's pretty cool just to see them lined up like that. Spupa seems to think it's a Pokeball. You can be one if you want. I'm not going to say no. This is easily the best side quest so far in this game. Wow. Here's Pupa again already. Whoa, a sport ball. We got all the Gen 1 balls here in one spot. Even the Safari ball. We got Gen 1. These are the Gen 2 Apra balls. Yeah, all 7 of them. And then, are these balls added in Gen 3? I think so. I don't know if the Luxury Ball is Gen 3. I think it might be 4, but I'm not certain. The rest of these check out. Except I think the Premier Ball is Gen 3. The Sport Ball is... Sport Ball is a tricky one, because it exists in Gen 2 as the Park Ball, but then they rebranded it the Sport Ball in Gen 4. Okay, so the pattern is not perfectly holding here, although the rest of these are from Gen 4. I'm pretty sure the Premier Ball is from Gen 3. But yeah, these are the 5 original balls. You play Gen 1, these are what you get. Poke, Great, Ultra, Master, Safari. And these are the Apricorn ones from Johto. Is this guy even going to tell me about them? Didn't realize there were this many different kinds. Not present, of course, the Strange Ball, the Beast Ball, and the Cherish Ball. But those are all a little bit more obscure. This looks like the Pokeball Factory in Laver City. And in fact it is. I hear Spupa. This looks like an interactive map of the city. Well, 3-dimensional holotech map, at least. The Badlands area, the power plant. Kalos power plant, which I guess we will not be exploring any further in this game. This is a... What is this doing here? Oh. Okay. Palace Power Plant. A place that a lot of players wanted to see more of, and we never did. Here's a Spupa hanging out on a bench. I'm not too bothered about the Kalas Power Plant. I did think we would see more of it in Zed, and then that game never happened. And obviously this is the closest thing to Zed, and we're probably not going there because I don't think we're ever leaving Lumiose City. But, okay, the power plant was mostly scenery. I can live with that. Here's Pupa. Oh, right there on the map. Look at this. Aw. Look at this giant creature terrorizing the city. Who can possibly stop it? It's a menace. It's practically Dynamaxed. Pretending it's a great big monster attacking Lumiose City. You can be one if you want, buddy. One more Spupa. Looks like I might not be able to go up to the 3rd floor. Also looks like they don't have that painting of a Noctowl from X and Y that I kind of liked. Or the Johto paintings that I liked because, you know, I'm a big Johto head. And there used to be stairs up to the 3rd floor somewhere over here, but it seems there aren't anymore. So I guess this is it, and I guess the last Spupa is probably down on the 1st floor. I love the Hisui exhibit. There's Spupa. I love the Hisui exhibit. Some of the other stuff that I was hoping to see in here is not here, but I cannot complain. It would be cool to see an in-game painting of some classic Johto scenes in that level of detail. That's just me being a silver version kid, as always, of course. Look at all this Spupa. $13? I got an extra Spupa? They're giving me a Spupa? I already have a Vivillon. Would this Spupa evolve into a different pattern? Because I'd be interested. But I'm not going to know, am I? Alright, you can sit in the PC for now, Spupa. Alright, that was incredible. I didn't know there was going to be anything like that in this game. Although I should have known they would do the museum justice.